It's Wednesday night after a long day, and the last thing you want to do is cook dinner from scratch. But you still want a satisfying, tasty meal without the guilt? Enter your freezer's sidekick, Cauliflower. From thin and crispy cauliflower crust pizzas to all-natural white meat chicken tenders and more, Cauliflower is gluten-free always, satisfies every craving, and is ready in minutes. Cauliflower is available in freezer aisles nationwide. Visit eatcauliflower.com/where-to-buy to find a store near you.
The views and opinions expressed by guests on this podcast do not necessarily represent those of the podcast, its creators, or sponsors. If you would like to discuss a missing persons case on this podcast, please be sure to visit missingpersonspodcast.net. This episode may contain unsettling or disturbing subject matter. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to Missing Persons, a podcast dedicated to spreading the word about people who have vanished under mysterious or unexplained circumstances and the family members who are looking for answers. I'm Jess Betancourt.
And I'm Mike Morford. Together we created this podcast to help give a voice to people who continue to look for their missing loved ones. In some cases, even after decades have gone by. In each episode, you'll hear from Jess giving listeners the backstory and the basic facts of the disappearance.
Then Mike will speak with someone who's intimately connected to the missing person, and his guest will share their story with us.
Please stay tuned at the conclusion of this episode to hear about our Patreon program and our commitment to help find people who have gone missing. We'll also share with you where you can find more information and how you can join our team and help our efforts. You'll get recommendations for other podcasts we think you'll enjoy, and more.
So sit back and enjoy this episode, and who knows, maybe you can help us find someone who's missing. Episode 14, Dulce Maria Alavez. Dulce Maria Alavez is a 5-year-old girl who went missing on Monday, September 16, 2019, from a playground in Bridgeton, New Jersey. Dulce's mother, 19-year-old Noema Alavez Perez, took her 2 children, ages 5 and 3, to a gas station for ice cream, and then to Bridgeton City Park behind the public high school around 4:00 p.m. Noema, who was 5 months pregnant at the time, also brought along her own little sister, Camilla, who was 8 years old. The quartet was captured on video surveillance camera at the gas station buying ice cream. When they got to the park, which the kids had been to many times before, Noema says that there were 4 girls playing basketball on the basketball courts. They looked to be about 10 years old. She parked in the parking lot for the park, which was adjacent to the basketball courts, and sat in the car with her sister. The 2 scratched lottery tickets and worked on the elementary schoolers' homework. Dulce and her little brother ran and played on the playground. Noema could see them as they played, about 30 yards away, but then they headed to the swings, which were obscured from her line of vision by a small hill. A few minutes later, after she had not seen Dulce and her brother for 5 to 10 minutes, Noema and her sister walked into the area of the park where the kids had last been playing. There, they found Dulce's brother. He was crying because his ice cream was on the ground. Noema asked her son where his sister was. The little boy, who was nonverbal at the time, pointed behind 2 small buildings that sat on the park property, a structure used by the park maintenance workers to store equipment. Thinking Dulce was playing a game with her, Noema searched the area for some time, calling her daughter's name, but there was no sign of her. After about 30 minutes of fruitless searching, she called the police around 4:50 p.m. The case was treated as a criminal investigation from the outset. Searches were immediate and extensive. These included searches of the area by 50 officers from various local agencies, dogs, water rescue and search teams, the New Jersey State Police Aviation and Missing Persons Units, and the FBI Child Abduction Rapid Deployment Unit. A waterway running through 1,100-acre Bridgeton City Park was drained. A local restaurant owner flew his drone over the park, hoping that the little girl was just lost. Local businesses quickly donated money toward a reward for information about Dulce. There was no sign of her. An Amber Alert issued at 12:08 a.m. on September 18th indicated that police believed Dulce may have been taken by a thin-framed, light-skinned, possibly Hispanic man between 5'6" and 5'8" tall, with no facial hair and acne. He was wearing orange sneakers, red pants, and a black shirt. It stated that Dulce was led into a red van that had sliding rear doors and tinted windows. This was around 4:20 p.m. The description of the man and the van was provided by one of the children on the basketball court. On October 4th, Bridgeton Police Chief Michael Gaimari Sr. provided an update on the investigation. He stated that more than 300 law enforcement officers from multiple agencies had contributed to the investigation thus far. They had searched more than 200 locations for any sign of Dulce, including canvassing apartment buildings in the area surrounding Bridgeton City Park. They compiled surveillance video from nearby businesses and private citizens and scanned the footage for any sign of the red van, resulting in the investigation of more than 500 vehicles. They gathered cell phone evidence from nearby towers. According to Chief Gaimari, authorities had received over 1,000 tips in connection to Dulce's disappearance. They had also run down the registered sex offenders in the area and questioned them. There was a potential break in the case on October 15th when police released a composite sketch of a Hispanic man, approximately 5'7", with a slender build, age approximately 30 to 35 years old. He was wearing a white t-shirt, blue jeans, and a white baseball-style hat. This man was seen in the park with two small children on the afternoon that Dulce went missing. Police informed the public that this man was not a suspect. Rather, they were seeking him as a potential witness to see if he had seen anything that day. Noema and her sister did not recognize the man in the sketch. In December, Noema appeared on the Dr. Phil show to try to get the word out on a national level about her missing daughter. When pressed by Phil McGraw to try to think of anyone who could have taken Dulce, Noema said the only person she could think of was an old family friend who had tried to date her. She now believes that the police have checked this guy out and cleared him. Noema was criticized by members of the public after this Dr. Phil appearance for not seeming emotional enough about her daughter. As in any investigation, members of the family and their associates were looked at by police. They told Noema that they considered everyone a potential suspect. Noema's car was impounded and searched, and she was asked to take a polygraph, which she did. One of the questions she was asked was whether she had sold or given away her child. Of course, she said no. Dulce's father was also contacted in Mexico and interviewed by investigators. According to New Jersey 101.5, Noema said that Dulce's father, Edgar Perez, did not have any custodial rights over Dulce and that there were no custody-related disputes between her and Edgar. They had not been in communication much. Noema doesn't think he had anything to do with Dulce's disappearance because he lives in Mexico and he doesn't have the money to come to the States, she said. Police spoke with Edgar via telephone, and it appears that he has been ruled out as a suspect. Shortly after Dulce's disappearance, ICE arrested Noema's boyfriend and the father of her new baby girl, Estrella. An ICE spokesman said Edgar Martinez Santiago, a 27-year-old Mexican citizen, was part of an ongoing investigation concerning illegal immigration. An ICE spokesman told the media, quote, ICE does not target witnesses. ICE encourages undocumented immigrants to cooperate with local, state, and federal authorities without fear of reprisal, end quote. It's not clear whether Edgar has been officially ruled out as a suspect, but Noema said he was working in Philadelphia on the day Dulce went missing, and police do not seem to be focused on him. Months went by with no public developments in Dulce's disappearance. Then, in March of 2020, some anonymous correspondence was delivered in Ohio that appeared to be related to Dulce's case. In Austintown, Ohio, an index card addressed to, quote, Manager, Hollywood Gaming, was delivered to the Mahoning Valley Racecourse. The card referenced Dulce and in scribbled handwriting said, quote, 76 Truck Stop, Dead End Street, Entrance, Woods. Please look, end quote. The card made reference to Dulce, and there was even a little hand-drawn map. The return address on the index card sent to the racecourse is illegible, but investigators could make out the zip code, which came back to the town of Culiacan, Mexico. Investigators said they could not confirm that this was actually the source of the card, but they did verify that the card had been sent through the mail and was not hand-delivered. Noema said investigators told her that it looked as though a child had written the letter. The receipt of the letter triggered a search of the area by canines, but nothing was found. Now, New Jersey 101.5 reports that as of March 7, 2020, authorities across the country have received about 100 letters containing riddles and useless, baseless tips about Dulce's whereabouts. A family spokesperson who received one, Jackie Rodriguez, described the letter she received as gibberish. Law enforcement believes these letters are a distraction and are not legitimate sources of information about Dulce. Dulce, whose 6th birthday was on April 25th of this year, is now on the FBI's most wanted missing persons list. She is described as a happy, smiling child who loved Peppa Pig, princesses, and the movie Frozen. The little Hispanic girl is about 3 feet tall and 60 to 70 pounds. According to the FBI, she was last seen wearing a yellow shirt with a koala on the front, black and white pants with butterflies and flowers on them, and white dress sandals. Police Chief Gaimari says that he has received no information to indicate that she is anything but alive. Noema told us she remains hopeful that her daughter will come home one day. There is a $75,000 reward for information about Dulce. The FBI is working with local, county, and state law enforcement agencies in New Jersey to try to locate her. Authorities ask anyone with information about Dulce to call the New Jersey State Police Missing Persons Unit at 609-882-2000, extension 2554, or the Bridgeton Police at 856-451-0033. Tips may also be phoned into 1-800-CALL-FBI and then select option 4 and then option 8. Anonymous tips may be sent by text to tip 411 with Bridgeton in the message line. Mike Morford sat down with Noema Alavez Perez, Dulce's mother, to talk about her daughter's case. That conversation is coming up after a word from our sponsors.
It's Wednesday night after a long day, and the last thing you want to do is cook dinner from scratch. But you still want a satisfying, tasty meal without the guilt? Enter your freezer's sidekick, Cauliflower. From thin and crispy cauliflower crust pizzas to all-natural white meat chicken tenders and crowd-pleasing snacks, Cauliflower satisfies every craving. Cauliflower's products are your favorite comfort foods, but made better for you and gluten-free always. The best part? You don't have to sacrifice taste or time, so you can honor your cravings without compromising. Craving pizza? You can enjoy Cauliflower's delicious margarita pizza for only 370 calories for half the pizza. Looking for easy snacks that kids and adults alike will love? Cauliflower's baked, never-fried pizza snacks are nostalgia reimagined and ready in 5 minutes. Cauliflower's products are available in freezer aisles nationwide. Visit eatcauliflower.com/where-to-buy to find a store near you.
Let's be honest. Most of us have a love-hate relationship with wired bras. We love the lift, but hate the digging. We love the support, but hate feeling trapped. Well, Knix just changed everything with FreeFlex, a wired bra actually designed to work with your body, not against it. FreeFlex features a revolutionary flexible wire that moves when you move, bends when you bend, and keeps everything exactly where you want it. No poking, no stabbing, no constant readjusting, just freedom to move. It also has a demi-cup shape for a natural lift with a lower neckline that flatters in everything from V-necks to dresses. And because it's from Knix, it's available in sizes for every body. Experience the first wired bra you'll actually want to wear all day. Visit Knix.com for 15% off your order with FreeFlex15. That's KNIX.com, code FreeFlex15 for 15% off. Knix.com.
Hi, Noema. Thanks so much for coming on Missing Persons to discuss your daughter, Dulce Maria's case with us.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Your little girl disappeared almost a year ago. How are you holding up?
Well, it's been hard for our family and everything to see that my daughter's not here with us. Sometimes it's hard to believe that she's gone. It's like this is just a dream. Just can't believe it's about to be a year. And for family, it changed a lot in our family. Not the same no more.
It's been a very rough year for you all.
Yes.
You feel like a part of your family is missing?
Yeah. Well, I feel my part of my heart is missing.
Do you ever think that maybe just one day you'll see her, she'll come home and you'll be reunited with her?
Yes.
And then but then days go by and that doesn't happen. That must be very depressing for you, very saddening for you.
It is. It's really hard.
Yeah.
Every day, people.
Can you tell us a little bit about your daughter, Dulce, what she's like?
She was nice. She was sweet. She was caring. She loved to play with her brother and her cousin. She would say, "I love you." She would scream, like play, like run around the house and scream of joy as she's playing. She would like to dress up as a princess, pretend that she's a princess, and sing Elsa's song, Frozen.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like she was a typical little girl doing the kinds of things most little girls do.
Yeah.
And the park that she disappeared from, the playground, was that a place that you had brought your kids to before?
Yeah, and my parents too.
Okay, so your kids had been there with you and your parents before. How many times do you think they had gone to that park before?
A bunch of times, I think. But with my mom, they will go a bunch of times with my parents. But with me, they will go rarely.
Okay. So one way or another, between you and your parents, they had been there several times and never had any problems, never had any issues with anything happening any of those other times?
No.
Okay. And take us back to that day in September 2019. It was September 16th when Dulce disappeared. Can you tell us about that day and what happened?
Well, that day, I went and pick up Dulce and my sister from the bus stop because they both rode the same bus, and they both go to the same school. So I went with them and picked them up. I went to the house with them, and I told my daughter and my sister and my son if they wanted to go to the park. They said yeah, but then I was changing my mind because I didn't want to go no more. But Lucy was crying because she wanted to go to the park. So then I took her. They got changed. They took off their uniforms and they put regular clothes on. And I was on my way to the park. And while I was on my way to the park, I told them if they wanted an ice cream, and they said yes. So I turned back around and went to the gas station. That's where we got ice cream. And after that, I went back to the park when I was on my way there again. And after that, when I got there, Dulce and Manuel, they were happy. They were just wanted to get down and go play in the playground. And so they got down, and I let them get down, and they went running. And my sister said she was going to go, but I told her we had to finish her homework. And she said, okay. That's where Dulce and Manuel went running to the park. And while she was doing her homework, I was scratching like a lot of lottery tickets that I had bought at the gas station. So. And then me and Camila didn't find no more the kids, so we both went over there and checked. And when we went there, Manuel was just crying, and his ice cream was just on the floor. And I told him, "Where's your sister?" He said that. Well, he just pointed because he didn't talk at that time. He was just pointing at things. So he pointed it behind the buildings. He just pointed the buildings with a tree, 2 buildings and trees in the middle. And I went there. I thought she was playing hide and seek, and I was yelling her name. I couldn't find her. And my mom, like, they probably took her. And I was like, no. I was like, no, let me not think that. I'm like, let me find her. And I was looking for her everywhere. I went to the forest. I went everywhere and looked for her. And and then I didn't know what to do. I was scared because I didn't know what happened to her. I couldn't find her because something like that never happened to me. So that's where I called the cops. And I just told him, like, I was in shock. I didn't know what to say, what to do. Like, I don't know. And now that I'm not in shock, sometimes I feel bad because I know I did a wrong thing not getting out of the car. And because of that, for not getting out of the car, now my daughter's missing. And it really hurts a lot.
To clarify, and I just want to make sure I heard you right, you were in shock when this first happened, when she went missing. And now that you're not in shock and looking back, you think you made a mistake? Is that what you said?
Yes.
And in which way was it that you thought you made a mistake?
Not getting out of the car and getting down with her.
Okay. From the very beginning, you mean? From right when she went out there, you wish you had gone out there with her?
Yes.
How long after you pulled up and they went out to play and you were scratching your lottery ticket until you realized she was gone, how much time passed by?
Like at least 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Okay, so it was a few minutes. And you said your son doesn't talk. He didn't talk at that time anyways, but he pointed. Were you able to understand anything he was trying to tell you about what happened?
No, because he was just 3.
Okay. So the only thing you knew was he was pointing, but you didn't know what he was trying to tell you.
Yeah.
So you called, was it your father? You said you called to say that Dulce was missing?
No, I didn't call his father. I called the police.
You called the police right away. Okay. And how fast did the police come to the park?
They were on the phone with me until police arrived there.
And the first police got there pretty quickly?
Yeah, he did.
And what was the first thing they did? Did they go looking or set up to block stuff off to look around?
Yeah, they blocked the entrance of where my car was parked. They blocked that parkway in. Cops, fire department, I think ambulance too started coming and looking inside the forest. Then the next day, they brought dogs and everything like that. I started smelling her and everything.
Do you remember seeing any other adults or any other kids with their families or anything in the park when you were there?
There was 2 girls like my age and like 2 small kids like my sister age. They were there, and I think one of them was the one that said that they saw the red van.
Okay, so one of those girls is the one that reported seeing the van.
Yeah.
Now, obviously you were in shock, you were sad, you're upset after your daughter went missing, and you started to go on TV asking for her to be given back to you. Some people made a big deal. They said that you didn't look like you were really sad, or that you didn't seem that upset. What would you tell those people that said that kind of stuff about you?
Well, I don't really show my emotions on camera or on TV. I don't know. I'm just that kind of shy person that doesn't really show emotions like that. I don't even show my emotions to my parents. I don't know. Just keep everything to myself, and I don't know.
So just because people noticed that or said that doesn't mean that you're guilty of anything or not upset that your daughter went missing.
Yeah, I do care about my daughter. I love her. I loved her a lot, and she knows that.
Yeah, and I think you can't always tell, but by the way someone reacts to different things, you can't really judge by that. We all like to think that we can tell how somebody, what they're thinking by the way they're acting, but we can't always tell that. So I definitely understand that people shouldn't rush to think things about you. But it must have been tough hearing people say that kind of stuff, though, for you, I imagine.
Yeah, it is.
It's Wednesday night after a long day, and the last thing you want to do is cook dinner from scratch. But you still want a satisfying, tasty meal without the guilt? Enter your freezer's sidekick, Cauliflower. From thin and crispy cauliflower crust pizzas to all-natural white meat chicken tenders and crowd-pleasing snacks, Cauliflower satisfies every craving. Cauliflower's products are your favorite comfort foods, but made better for you and gluten-free always. The best part? You don't have to sacrifice taste or time, so you can honor your cravings without compromising. Craving pizza? You can enjoy Cauliflower's delicious margarita pizza for only 370 calories for half the pizza. Looking for easy snacks that kids and adults alike will love? Cauliflower's baked, never-fried pizza snacks are nostalgia reimagined and ready in 5 minutes. Cauliflower's products are available in freezer aisles nationwide. Visit eatcauliflower.com/where-to-buy to find a store near you.
Let's be honest. Most of us have a love-hate relationship with wired bras. We love the lift, but hate the digging. We love the support, but hate feeling trapped. Well, Knix just changed everything with FreeFlex, a wired bra actually designed to work with your body, not against it. FreeFlex features a revolutionary flexible wire that moves when you move, bends when you bend, and keeps everything exactly where you want it. No poking, no stabbing, no constant readjusting, just freedom to move. It also has a demi-cup shape for a natural lift with a lower neckline that flatters in everything from V-necks to dresses. And because it's from Knix, it's available in sizes for every body. Experience the first wired bra you'll actually want to wear all day. Visit Knix.com for 15% off your order with FreeFlex15. That's KNIX.com, code FreeFlex15 for 15% off. Knix.com.
Oh. Well, I wanted to ask you a series of questions, and these are mostly things that have come up after your daughter went missing until now. These are things that people have talked about online, been reported in the news, and see if you can help me shed any light on any of this stuff. So when Dulce first went missing, did your son come back to the car and find you, or did you go out to the playground and you found your son?
I went to the playground and found him. He didn't come back to the car.
Okay, so he didn't come back to the car and get you. You had already walked looking. It was because you were looking for them that you went out and walked up and found him? Okay. And also, you said on the 911 call that your son's ice cream was thrown onto the ground. Do you know if he dropped it or did someone else throw it down there? Were you able to find that out?
I think he dropped it because then like a week ago passed and his ice cream was still there. Like it was still thrown there.
Okay, so it wasn't like you don't think someone threw it down on purpose?
No.
Now, obviously, your son couldn't talk. You already told us that. He was just pointing and stuff. Could you tell in any way that he was upset about his sister?
I think he was because he was alone. He didn't tell her sister no more. I think that's why he was crying.
So he was upset about her, you think?
Yeah.
Back then he didn't talk, but he talks now. Is that correct?
Yeah, he talks now.
Has he been able to say anything or give any kind of hint about what he saw? Has he talked about that at all since he started talking?
He just it's like really hard to understand him. He just says that she ran and that's it. She went behind her.
Did you actually see the man in the Amber Alert, the one who supposedly took your daughter into the red van?
The sketch?
But Did you see the man that supposedly took your daughter into the red van yourself?
No.
Okay, this was only by possibly one of the girls that was at the park that you think was the one that saw him.
Yeah.
Okay. Have the police been able to find anything out about that man or that van that you know of?
To be honest, I don't know. I don't think so. Because they won't give me detailed information about the investigation because they said that will interrupt the investigation.
Okay, so they keep stuff quiet about what they're looking for and what they're finding.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, some people were suspicious of your family. Do you know why people were suspicious of your family? Why they thought somehow your family may have been involved in her disappearance?
No, to be honest, no. I don't know why people are saying that.
Have you heard that a lot yourself? Have you heard a lot of people making those accusations?
No. They were accusing someone that said that he was my uncle because he has the same last name, Dulce, Alavez. But that wasn't my uncle. He's not even related to me. And just because we had the same last name, they thought maybe he did something.
Okay. At some point, the police asked you to take a polygraph or a lie detector test. How did that go? How was that experience?
Okay.
Were you surprised that they asked you to take a polygraph test?
Yeah.
Did they say that you were a suspect or anything?
No, yeah, they said that everyone is a suspect. Everyone.
Okay. Did you, according to them, did they tell you whether or not that you passed your polygraph test?
No, they told me that.
One of the questions on the test, did they ask you specifically if you set up your daughter's kidnapping or if you tried to sell your daughter?
Yes.
They did ask you that?
Okay.
And you answered that wasn't true?
Yeah, no, it's not true.
Okay. Why did police impound your car? Did you get it back?
What car?
The car that you were driving that day, is it correct that car got impounded at some point?
Yeah, they said they took it. They had it took it. I think they were looking inside the car now.
Looking for clues or evidence and stuff?
Yeah.
Did they give you the car back?
Yeah, they did.
Okay. There were rumors out that you were arrested. Is that true?
No.
You were never arrested for any crimes related to your daughter?
No.
And do you know why some people's that rumor was going around? Any idea why people would say that?
No. I don't know why they said that.
And you were on the Dr. Phil show, and you told Dr. Phil that you had talked to your daughter about not going with strangers. Do you think that, obviously she's a young girl, do you think she listened to your advice and didn't go with a stranger, that maybe it was someone that she knew?
Yeah, I think because she will be shy around people that she doesn't even know. She wouldn't even talk. She wouldn't even talk to people she doesn't know.
Do you think she'd run away from a stranger to try and go for help, to try and find someone to help her?
To be honest, I don't know. I don't know.
You mentioned that someone who had wanted to date you might have taken your daughter out of spite. Is that accurate that you said that?
Yeah, the only reason I heard that because Dr. Phil told me, can you think of anyone, like, who was the last person you saw, or who hasn't talked to you more? He was just telling me to bring someone up in my mind, like, forcing me. So I remember the last person I saw, that was with my daughter. I told him that.
So it was just basically the police saying, is there anyone at all you can think of? And that was the only person you could even think of.
Yeah.
Did the police look at that person?
Yeah, they did. But I don't know if they found them. I haven't seen them, like, in a minute. When my daughter disappeared, it was like some days after that. Then I haven't seen them since that day.
Okay. Do you know if when they checked him out, do you know if they were able to find out that he didn't have anything to do with it, or you don't know?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Now, obviously, they looked at you, they looked at your family, looked at everyone close to Dulce's life. Did they look at her father?
Yeah, they said they were talking with him through the phone.
And do you know if he was cleared at all?
Like, I don't know. I think he was. I'm not sure.
So, in the last year since your daughter went missing, there's been some strange letter mailed involving your daughter. What do you think of those letters? Are you familiar with those letters? Have you read them or heard what's in those letters?
I haven't seen them. I just saw pictures of it. That's it. It doesn't really I don't really understand it that much. It's just like scrabble.
Okay, so it's hard to really look at them and tell anything from them. Have police talked to you about those letters? And if so, what did they say about them?
They told me that it looked like a little kid wrote it.
Have you ever received any letters yourself, or anyone in your family ever gotten a weird letter like that?
No.
How has the public criticism, people have accused you of stuff or been suspicious of you, or saying it might be someone in your family, how has that made you feel? How has it affected you hearing all that stuff?
Right now, well, I don't really talk to my family. I don't see friends no more because everything's in there. They're scared. And my family, my mom, my parents don't go out no more. They don't go to their parties. They don't celebrate nothing no more. It's just like, it's not the same no more.
It's really changed your lives, basically.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. Do you think that there's been any fear among people that might have information that might be afraid to talk to the police because maybe they're afraid of being deported or something like that?
To be honest, I don't know. It might be that, or I don't know. Find people, I'm not saying nothing.
Yeah, because sometimes people won't have information, but they're afraid to come forward because they're worried that something will happen to them themselves. But you don't know if that's the case. Yeah. And there was a reward of $75,000 in the case. Is that still available for someone that has information about your daughter's whereabouts?
Yeah, that's still up.
So someone, if they had information, they could collect that.
Yes, if somebody calls and knows where she is or has it, could get that money.
Hopefully if someone out there listening does know, they would do the right thing and come forward and share that information. Where does the case stand now? Are the police keeping in touch with you to tell you what they're doing or to update you just to say, hey, we haven't forgotten about your daughter. We're looking for her still?
Yeah, someone calls us and let us know everything about the case, how we're doing.
So it's mainly just like as an update?
Yeah.
I can imagine how tough this year has been for you and your family. But if somehow, some way, your daughter could hear anything you wanted to say to her, what would you say to her right now?
That I miss her. I want her to be home. That we're not going to stop looking for her. She's going to be home with us someday.
Hopefully you are reunited, and we do wish the best for you to find out where she is.
Thank you.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Missing Persons. If you can provide any information to help solve the case we discussed in this episode, we hope that you'll contact the appropriate authorities.
We hope that you'll tell your friends about Missing Persons and invite them to listen to the show. Word of mouth will really help us grow. And if you'd like to help us reach new listeners, please be sure to rate and review Missing Persons on the platform you're listening to us now on.
We'd like to tell you a little bit about our Patreon program. If you visit patreon.com/missingpodcast, you can sign up to help this podcast through ongoing monthly support. As a thank you, we'll give you an on-air shout-out, a thank you card and sticker, plus you'll get ad-free early access to every new episode of Missing Persons, as well as any bonus content.
Your Patreon support also goes directly towards helping the missing, because every dollar that we earn through Patreon will be split with two worthwhile causes that benefit the efforts to bring missing people home: CharlieProject.org and Private Investigations for the Missing. Your Patreon support will really go a long way towards helping. We hope you'll consider supporting the show. Just a reminder, new episodes of Missing Persons drop every other Saturday. If you want to find us on social media, you can search Facebook for Missing Persons Podcast. We're also on Twitter with the handle @missing_pod. And of course, you can always find us on our website, missingpersonspodcast.net. On behalf of Jess Betancourt, this is Mike Morford saying thanks, and we'll see you next time on Missing Persons.
Missing Persons is produced under the name AbJack Entertainment by Mike Morford and Jessica Betancourt. It's hosted by Mike Morford and Jessica Betancourt, with writing and research by Jessica Betancourt and editing by Mike Morford. Be sure to listen every other Saturday for an all-new episode of Missing Persons.